Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Immergence Show. I'm your host, Nico Farah, and today we're diving deep into one of the most exciting transformations happening in our industry right now, how AI is completely rewiring the creative workflow for ads. Now, most of us have seen the explosion of generative tools, but while everyone's busy testing models and playing with prompts, our guest today built the system that actually makes those tools work together. Sylvain is a 7 times founder, CES Innovation Award winner, and the creator of Animatix, a platform already used by top ad agencies and broadcasters to generate high quality commercial using AI. And we will talk about how he built this, how agencies are using it, and what the future of creative collaborations look like in an AI driven world. As always, we want this to be interactive, so drop your questions in the chat throughout the show and tag your friends to join us. We will weave your question into the conversation. All right, let's get into it. Hi, Sylvain. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Nico. Thank you for having me. So yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Very excited to hear your personal and professional journey to get to here and start Animatix. I know we briefly talked about a very fascinating journey, so I can't wait for our audience to hear it.
yeah. So I've been doing this for quite a time. So Animatix is my seventh company. I've been starting quite early, quite young. Just entrepreneurship is what I've done for 24 years now. And yeah, so I've just
Yeah,
tried
tell us
many
more.
things.
You have done different things. You started in sports. Yeah, tell us about the journey that you've gone through. Maybe some of the companies you've built. What has been the common theme across?
Yeah, so I started as an athlete playing basketball. So I'm originally French. Wanted to play basketball, and actually found a way to go to the US while I was very young. So I was like 16 and a half. Just yeah, went to the US as an exchange student to play basketball, and just yeah wanted to with the objective to make it to the NBA. And at that time that was just like totally impossible. No one has really done that, and so yeah, just kind of drove my path around it, and then land into the US. And yeah, just play basketball there, found a scholarship, and just was able to study and play, and then went into the foundation of Tariq Abouad, the first French NBA player, and then just got very close to NBA and professional sports, and then yeah, just got to know the American way of life and way of doing things really early, and I think it shaped me in a way where I mean basketball was my first passion and first thing I was doing, but then so I've played quite a bit NCAA, and then didn't make it to the league, but came back in France in 2001 actually, and then started to play professional sports in France. And then early, I was looking like if you make it professional, you have to make it big. If you don't make it, then you get like around 35, 40, and it's the end of your career. So I saw that really early, where I had like relatives that were in professional sports, and I saw them like really decline really quick, while I was still young, and so should I make a career in Europe, where I mean you get paid really well, but it just lasts the time. So I figured that quite early, and then I started doing entrepreneurship. That was my kind of segue to keep the competition going, but into like a different playground. So I started the first company, and then yeah, so like long story. So I don't know if you want
Yeah,
to
we
go
can maybe
into
share the video that you had.
all this, but so
Yeah,
uh,
let's
so
share
yeah,
a
I
short video.
started so doing like a closing line, and then I built an innovation studio. So that's like more like an illustration of things that we did. I was like really so first build a closing line, then understood that so like yeah, business is more practical than theoretical. Like they could teach you how you do like a business plan and everything at the time in the business school, but like when you apply to it, that was like very different than what you can learn at school. Like so I got exposed to that really early. Understood that the so maybe I'll play that again. So understood that you can be a multimillionaire on an Excel spreadsheet, but when you have to do it for real, it's a bit different. So I built that innovation studio where I was actually leveraging the lean startup and all these concepts, and to apply it to hardware. And I built an innovation studio, which now you could call like a startup studio. So where we were taking technology from the labs, turning it into a product, and pushing it to the customer, demonstrating market traction, and then raising funding and all this. So that's where I got like quite early exposed to like the startup journey. How do you take a technology, turn it into a product, pitch it to your customer base, iterate on the product until you find traction, raise funding, investors, VC round, and everything. So I had that studio, and on the side I was launching my own companies. So I launched a drone company a few years ago that was sold to Aviation Group. I was part of the funding of like writing with a pen and paper on a tablet. That was sold to like a big writing group a few years ago as well. And then I was like around a lot of product creation, and now when I like look back, I see that I was like really involved into movie making and camera and image in a way. I was like really always since I play sport, really attracted by how you actually capture motion and how you just like put that together. I'm not a filmmaker, even if I was really close to this in what I was doing was while I was launching those startups. I was always like kind of producing film and like small commercials and everything. So I got like really close to how you actually build commercials and filmmaking.
Wow.
Uh, so with the drone camera, then got involved into a 360 camera. Then I founded an over-the-top OTT box to stream content, and that's where I got into all the broadcasters and in the US, like the Netflix and the Hulu and all those guys. So I got like a pretty broad understanding of how like video making is done and how the industry is transforming. And so yeah, so that's kind of my journey. I mean, just yeah, we can enter into different aspect of it, but
Thank
yeah,
you.
short of it, yeah, I've been like in tech, in design, and into some sort of creative tech for like 25 years now.
Wow, fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing. So there's a lot of like connected points that led to Animatix from your creative side. I didn't know you even worked in the fashion side of business, and the creative part is very interesting. And then you build relationships with streaming platforms and so on. And as Fatima says, Hulu, Netflix, no biggie. Yes, so you built the relationships, they've understood what matters to them, and now all leads to what you're building now, which is fascinating. Awesome. I want to say good morning to our amazing audience, Chris, Felipe, Fatima, and everyone else who's tuning in. Please comment. We want to hear from you. Tag your friends and ask your questions. Awesome. So let's talk about the genesis of Animatix. If you would like to share the story behind, how you came up with the idea and made this first prototype, that will be, I think, very inspiring for our audience.
So I mean, it's a fun story in a way. So like that was totally not planned. I was like helping a startup as a VP of product, US startup based in New York. That was into go-to-market tech. So I was like really involved into making this company agentic, bridging AI into it. So since like the start of all these new waves with the ChatGPT and so on, I got really involved into bringing AI into tech companies. So I kind of experienced multiple waves of innovation from my IoT and Web 2 and all this. And then when I saw AI, I really understood that one's going to be a bit different in a way that it goes much faster. So I integrated a lot of LLMs, like first wave, the ChatGPT, the Claude, and all this into different tech startups in the US, and then was really involved into that one with the go-to-market tech. Didn't really turn out as expected. We raised a Series A, and then long story short, I got into like I will probably not enter into that full story, but so somehow I got fired, and then I got like so hungry that night. Like I was like, how come I could just get fired on that, and with all these stories, and so I wanted to tell the story of a CEO that just did some very like funky ways of raising money, and I got like really upset about just what happened. So I went on that night, and I was exploring different things around AI video and producing content for some time, like played with Midjourney and so on very early on. Probably like started to Midjourney V2 or V3, and then so that night I was like, okay, let's try to make a trailer of this concept of a CEO that kind of lose it and just do some crazy stuff to raise funding. And so I wanted to tell that story like you would tell a trailer of a Netflix movie. So I went on, and so I probably spent the night like from like 5 in the evening to probably 5 in the morning, like really just pushing it. And then the next day I realized like, okay, I have nothing. I just have like barely a storyboard with few images that I gathered in Midjourney. So that was like probably like a year and a half ago. So at the time it was not as valuable and as easy as it is now. And then so generated some footage, so image, storyboard, and tried to put some video in, voiceover, sound effect, and so on. And then I realized that so it took me like the full night to build it. At the end of the night, I had nothing really to show. And the biggest problem was like, okay, the models are somewhat here. I mean, a year ago, that was not like really convincing. I probably remember Will Smith eating spaghetti. And if you've seen that, you see like how it evolved in the last year or 2 years. So I was at that stage, but really understood that foundational models fundamentally will become great, but you had no tools to be able to stitch them together. So basically, you had to create your script with ChatGPT or Claude on one side. Then you just take that and you try to create a storyboard, and you bring it into Midjourney and try to write some prompt of your first shot. And then you just do that again and again until you have like a storyboard. Then you want to animate those video, and and then you just export those assets, bring it into another platform, and animate it, and try to make some footage. And then same thing for the sound effects, same thing for the voiceover, same thing for everything. So that's where I got the understanding that fundamentally the foundational models will become great and will be able to do much better than what a camera can do. But the problem remains, like, how do you stitch it together? How do you make it a story? How do you make something that is consistent enough to be able to have a full film? And so that's how the next day I kind of woke up. I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. I'm going to build that platform. So yeah, so that next day I started to build Animatix, and here I am.
Wow. Amazing. As Fatima said, anger is a great motivator. And we had another guest, Carl, who came on the show and was talking about how he channeled his sadness into a great project. So, I mean, yeah, it's all about, channeling maybe the not so helpful energy into a positive energy that pushes us to do something magical. So that's amazing. Thank
I
you
mean,
for
and if I can add on that, I mean, it's just like you can stay into like the pain, the anger, whatever happens to you. You can stay in it for a long time, but also you can make that decision to shift it and to make it like something just much more creative, much more impactful, and then like suddenly all that story goes away and you just don't focus on that anymore and you just carry on. So that was kind of that decision that next morning. I don't want to stay into that experience of what happened or whatever. I just want to just take that, understand that I can just flip it and just do something else, and not stay into that kind of bad wave, bad mood type of spirit where
yeah,
I could have stayed in for some time. So that was also like a big reliever to turn it into creativity and just move on.
amazing. And did you also validate your idea? Did you talk to some folks to just make sure like this is the direction that is really worth investing your energy?
So I mean, I'm like trained into doing that kind of design thinking,
Yes.
business model design, lean startup type of style. So what I wanted to make sure is, like, first I have the ideas consistent and I can show it like at a point where it's valuable enough to be able to show it to people. So I mean, that first validation by myself, like, we have a problem. There's so many tools, but you cannot stitch them together. That was like a first like problem validation that I experienced myself. And then I was like starting to look what's in the market and realized that everyone was very focused on like prompting and building the models and making sure you could generate that 5 seconds footage. But what happened if you want to create a 30-second video? How do you do that? How do you make it consistent? How do you make the consistent character, the consistent
Story.
storyline? How do you make like the same camera style, and so on? So that's really like where I started to lean into how you build this together and put it together. So I started to build the first prototype really quick to kind of put the ideas together, and then release something in the market like a month later. And then since then I've been iterating on it until probably we did a soft launch in last December. Get like a good traction. Probably like I released one video, probably get like 100,000 views on LinkedIn, and then from that drove 3,000 users on the platform, which at the time was a bit buggy, and but the concept was there. I mean, we really managed to really capture it. And at that time, I really had built everything just by myself as a solopreneur, and just I was like, okay, let's just build that by myself as a side project and see where it goes. And when I got that kind of market validation, I realized, okay, that I can actually make it a proper business, and let's find ways to do it. So that's where I kind of decided to make it a solution for advertising, and then short form content. So we specialize for advertising, short form video, TV broadcasting, and so on. And then we build a second version that we are just about to release. And now we've been working with the largest advertising companies and TV broadcasters globally.
Amazing. Yeah, let's show a video of what Animatix is, maybe, and then we get into more questions.
So where's that? So
hi,
that's
Jean. Hi, Sharad. Sorry, I'm just saying hi to our new audiences. Shadi, thank you all for being here. Yes, put in your questions and comments and we'll get to them. Yes, go ahead, Sylvain.
So that's the kind of a demo video, a bit old. We need to build like release another one, but that gets you a good idea of what it's doing. So it's about like 2-3 months old. So in the AI space, 3 months is 3 years. But yeah, so I'm probably the only one to see it. So look at it.
Yes, thank you. And maybe you can tell us, so these are sample, you just put a prompt. Maybe you can walk us through how the process works from the user perspective.
You don't have the sound?
No, we don't hear it.
No?
Maybe when you were sharing it, you should have chosen that.
So let's do it again. So if I share.
Let's try again. And we will get to the amazing audience questions soon after.
Animatix presents creative freedom. With just a prompt, bring your vision to life instantly. From storyboard to a fully realized storytelling AI video. A great story needs consistency in characters, scenes, and styles. Everything is at your fingertips, from camera motion to keyframe. You want to add some voice to your characters? No problem.
I'm winning. I'm winning. I told you I'm gonna win.
What about sound effects? Soundtracks? We got that too.
Flex, creating ads, what you see next. Smooth transitions, nothing to prove, changing the world with Animatix.
Keep history of all your assets. And edit right inside the platform. Once you are satisfied with your work, export and upscale. Up to 4K and 60 FPS. Now, it's time to show your work. Present your full storyboard in a single page pitch to see if the story flows. Share your final video and get instant feedback. We gather the best-in-class AI models. Everything you need just right at your fingertips. All in one workflow. Animatix. Creative freedom.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I think that video explains a little bit more. Awesome. And we do have a question from Sharad asking Runway, Kling, or Luma Labs. Are you guys using, kind of incorporating all of these different models?
Yeah, so today we have access to all the foundational models. So we do different LLMs, different image model. So I would, let me get you the list. So we have Recraft v3, Ideogram v3, the Flux family, ImageGen, GPT Imager 1. We are releasing soon Runway Gen 4 frames. That's for the image. So like the best of the image of what you can get. Then we have Kling 2, Ray 2, VO2, Gen 4, Minimax. So all the best video models. Then for audio, we have Music Gen. Then for sound effect, we have Edra 3, Hummingbird. No, for lip sync, Edra 3, Hummingbird, Sync, and one other. Just get it, and yeah, so
So you guys can't have
basically all the best models per family, and that's what gets very complicated today. If you want to build a video, you need to jungle between these multiple platforms.
yeah.
And so as a like an individual AI creator, you could actually do this. If you actually want to scale it to a team and you have an agency and you have like more than 3, 5, 10 people, hundreds of people, thousands of people, it gets impossible to scale. So that's what we bring to those agencies, like a platform where you have always access to the best foundational models, and you're able to scale them, and defining what models you want to expose to your team. As models get out, we release those new models. So we made partnership with all the major platforms, and get you access to all those models directly. So that's one part of the value proposition. The other part is to be able to go from a brief. So you come with your brief. That's actually the prompt. You pass it to Animatix. We will create a storyboard for you. So brief to storyboard, then storyboard to the animatic. We validate the animatic, so animated video with sound effect, voiceover, soundtrack. And then you finalize that video into a final video, animated with all the best foundational models, and then you release that piece as a final AI video. So the way it has evolved and it's evolving, now you can produce what would have cost $1 million a year ago, 2 years ago. You can produce it for hundreds of euros in a matter of few hours, whereas before you would have taken you probably 3 to 6 months to coordinate everyone to shoot that video with real actors, real location, real props. And now you can do it fully digitally. So we are like really collapsing the full industry into one platform, enabling everyone to kind of collaborate into that collaborative workspace to build a video.
Amazing. And why did you choose to build this top layer over creating your own foundational model?
Well, I mean, first, it's just I don't have the money to build a foundational model. So that's the quick answer. I mean, joke apart, it costs probably like multiple hundreds of millions to build a proper foundational models around video and image, like really foundational. Then you could argue that you can build on top of those foundational models and do like some fine tunes of it. But like really, if you want to have something, you need to access to the data, train the models, and all this. So like it's a very heavy lift that big actors have been going into. So that's why we start to see emerging the Runway, the Google, the Amazon, and so on into this space, because they have the compute, because they have the data, and then the problem is the space is evolving so fast that even, I mean, I would not like to be in the foundational model business, even if we had the funding for it, simply because you can get disrupted overnight. And it's really like a binary outcome where you can have invested 100 millions into your model, and next day there is a Chinese model that comes from nowhere and just wipes you out. And the only thing you have to do is just build a new version and like a better model. And it's super cash intensive with a very binary outcome. So those foundational models are here, they are evolving. The problem is, how do you leverage them as this target is moving all the time? You don't really know as a user, as an agency, which one to bet on. So if I retrospect what happened last month in AI video, we had everyone get crazy around VO2. You probably saw that. So that was like, how can I get access to VO2? Then probably just right after, I think Kling 2 came out, and then it was like, okay, oh no, everything is better. It's Kling 2. And then we had the same thing on the image model. Then we had the new what is it, like the new Midjourney that came out. Then ChatGPT Imager 1 came out, and then now it's Gen 4 frames. And it's going, and that's just like last month. We've been into like 6 or 7 cycles already of like new generations of model coming out and just pushing the other one. So I understood that really early, where you need to leverage all those models and always you want to stay on top. But either you have to follow the space on a daily basis, and even as we are like a full team into it every day, and it's going so fast that you cannot really keep up. I cannot imagine someone that's just waking up in the morning. It's like, hey, let's leverage AI video. It's just not possible to follow. So that was the reason why we build like that kind of transversal layer. But it goes a bit deeper. So now we realize that the user is not capable to prompt. I mean, when I say that, is like you can prompt, but you will prompt very simple things, and you will not get the best out of the models. So what you need to do is be able to give a very in-depth, detailed prompt to get the outcome that you're looking for. But most likely, you don't have the industry knowledge of how you would prompt what you want
Yeah.
to do, and then you're not able, like humanly, to formulate what type of camera movement you want, what type of
Mhm.
what type of camera lens you want to use, and all these like different specificities.
Right.
Basically, we kind of compact the full cinema industry into a prompt.
Right.
And if you're not able to prompt that, you will have like an average image, and then you're not going to be able to make it consistent throughout your film, and just really place your characters the way you want and so on. So it got really complex really quick. So we built that kind of layer in middle to do a translation between what the user is wanting and what we output, because we have the full understanding of the full context of the story. So we're not building just one image after the other. We're building a full story, like a 30-second video or 1-minute video or something.
Wow, that's really important. Even in Midjourney or other tools, like we've seen for so long, only the traditional artists and creatives that knew the language are getting the great outputs that are not too gimmicky. So this is really great that not only you guys are bringing the latest and greatest tools together, but also you're adding that, as JK says, a kind of AI assistant that helps to improve the prompts. That's really helpful. Awesome. Thank you, JK, and welcome back. Yeah, we do have a lot of questions that I want to get into. So let's get into it. So right now, Sharad says, is it today possible to create a 90 minutes AI generated film? Is the tech already there?
I would argue that yes. I mean, that's the base of our technology. We build small sequences of footage that are consistent. So if you can build a 30-second, you can build a 2-hour movie. It's just multiple sequence of 30-second scenes. So yeah, I mean, totally doable. It will just take a bit of time. One big blocker was the consistency. So we cracked that onto the character consistency, but now also the scene consistency, the full context of where it's happening, and then you can have that like consistency between multiple scenes with the same actor, different angles, and so on. So once you have that, then you can just multiply those scenes until you have a full movie. So totally doable. It's not our main focus right now. We are like mainly focused on short form content, because that's where the biggest need is at the moment. Like, how do you output the short form content for like advertising purposes? But definitely we have views also into the entertainment industry, where you could create full 90-minute movies. The question is like how and when that's going to become real time, and then that's going to be like if the renders become real time, and which we start to see with some models. The quality is not there yet, but once you're able to render as fast as you view it, then you can start to have almost like movies that auto direct itself. and then that's gonna be interesting. A bit crazy, but interesting.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And we have a few comments regarding that AI assistant side. The language will simplify, the tools become more user-centrist. It's all just time. Yeah, totally. And Felipe says, even as a software engineer without knowledge about design patterns, system architecting, etc., no vibe coder is going to deliver a polished app or will spend 2 to 3 times on QC. Yeah, I mean, this is a big part that you guys are helping creatives to do that. And then Shadi is asking, what's the biggest misconception creative teams have about using AI for video? So how are you seeing people are receiving this type of tools?
Well, I mean, different audience. The people we are talking to are like really knowledgeable into AI, and they kind of know every model that's out there. They've tried it, and they have that pain point of like, how do I actually leverage it to make a full video? So that's one thing. The other type of audience is more like creative director that don't have that much of knowledge of what's possible with AI, but they want to bring their vision to life. And our task is to be able to get them to have a movie that represents their vision without the technical complexities of it, and be able to kind of prompt and direct the system to go where they want to go without the heavy lifting of knowing what models they're going to use, knowing what's prompt engineering and all these things. It should work consistently throughout the film, and they just like request a new shot, a new frame into what's next. So we are building that kind of intelligence system where it understands the full movie, and you can ask to add frames in between of those frames, and the system is able to define. So let's say you have like a glass, and then the next frame the glass is on the floor and broken, then we can ask the system to generate what's in the middle, and most likely the glass is falling. So we have that type of technology and of an understanding right now where you can like build multiple sequences and fill what's in the middle and direct what's in the middle. So we're really trying to abstract the prompting as much as possible and to abstract the technical complexities of it. If I can jump on Felipe's comments, I mean, totally agree. The vibe coding and all this like vibe movement, we could think of it of the vibe filmmaking and everything.
Yes.
So that's possible. It's there, but the problem of it is if you are not able to prompt the AI to a level where you understand what you're doing and you just get the best out of it. So let's say the system knows most of things, but until you don't speak the language to the model, it will not get you to that level of playing. So if I take that analogy with sports, if you go play basketball or soccer with anyone, and until you don't show that you're capable to do that crazy dribbling and crazy middle half of the field shooting and some stuff, the level of the game will not raise up because they will consider that you are a beginner. Same thing with AI. If you're able to prompt it to the level of specification of exactly what you want in every field, most likely you will go where you need to go. The problem is like you don't have that knowledge to be able to prompt into all those multiple verticals to go where you need to go. So same thing for vibe coding. If you don't know anything about system architecture, design patterns, and what you really want to do into user experience and everything, you will code things, but it's not going to be usable. It's going to crash all around. So I love the concept of the vibe coding. The reality is just you can do crazy stuff already, but you need to kind of know and have the culture of what you want to do. And I think that's what's going to distinguish like people that use AI in a very efficient way, because they have the culture of what they want to achieve and the wording for it. I have like another metaphor for it, which I think illustrated really well. Is like if you go into like a wine dealer, and I'm French, obviously, and you try to ask the wine you want to drink, But if you have no clue of how you express the wine in words, you will never get the wine you want to drink.
Yes.
And if you have the language to be able to say, I want this type of wine with that type of body, with that type of flavor, and you have the wording for it, the person in front of you, which is the wine dealer, will understand exactly what you're saying and will pull up 2 or 3 bottles that exactly correspond to what you want to drink. So same thing with AI. The knowledge is there, but you have to release it. You have to have that type of knowledge to be able to pull it up.
But then thanks to platforms like Animatix, we have these translators that can help us get there faster, maybe. Awesome. And one question from Shadi, have you seen creative outputs from users that genuinely surprised you?
So yeah, I mean, we had a first, like I say, a first run. So yeah, I mean, always very interesting to see what people are building. Now we're releasing a V2, so mainly to like enterprise sales, larger agencies, and like very interesting to see how fast they can produce their content. We did 2 experiments. One is, and maybe I can show that. You probably all saw the Coca-Cola commercial that was published probably like last December or something for Christmas. It took a lot of resources to Coca-Cola to do it. 17 creators, 18,000 images created, 6 weeks of production, and they released that 30-second video. So I don't know if we can show it. And then
yes,
we reproduce it with Animatix in under 30 minutes using the system. So maybe I can show that.
Yes, definitely. And I want to say hi to our amazing audience. Hi, Ian. Thank you for joining us. I know you're all busy. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. Do you have it ready, Sylvain? Let me know when you want me to bring it up.
Hold on, I need to.
And Casey says, big brands are notoriously slow to change. How did you design Animatix in a way that fits into the realities of enterprise creative teams, not just indie creators or startups?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, very good question. So one thing is they got kind of caught by surprise. Everyone was not really believing AI video was capable of anything last year. And then they kind of woke up this summer where we were working all summer, and they just came back in September and it's like, oh my God, this is coming. So they basically hired like a AI lead to all companies have someone in charge of integrating AI into their agency, into their system. And so those people get really knowledgeable into what's possible, what's not possible, what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. So we are talking to like a very educating audience, and it's actually a very, very fast sales cycle. Yeah, we were quite surprised. So we build it into like one of the big unlock for us is making it scalable, and that you can deploy it at the agency scale or at the enterprise scale. The problem today, you have, as I said, you have like 10 to 20 different models, like 3 to 5 models into 7 different categories. And if you want to do a full video, you have to manage all of that. How you create the video, how you create the sound effect, the voiceover, the lip sync, the soundtrack, and so on. And that's into different platforms. So the platforms are accessible, everyone knows them, but how you bring them together into one platform so you can scale it to your team, this is what part of what we do.
Amazing. Thank you for the question, Casey, and great answer, Sylvain. Whenever you're ready to share your screen, let me know. Is it ready?
So yeah, I have it ready. So awesome. So this is the platform. You have so we kind of prompted the system, create a Coca-Cola commercial for Christmas, 16:9, choose a cinema, realistic. The system created some characters, attach some voice to it, and so on. Then it creates a storyboard of 10 frames. You can add some frames. You can always iterate on it. what we do is we auto-generate the prompt for you, and then you have access to all the models. And then once you're happy with this storyboard, you can generate the video with all the video models. So then you can generate the soundtrack, the voiceover, the soundtrack, and we wrap everything up into a timeline where because the system understands the full story, it will do a pre-edit for you and then edit that film. And this is what we get into about 30 minutes of work inside Animatix. So I'm going to share that. You have the song?
Yes. Wow.
So we
Awesome.
can put that together to show. I mean, took Coca-Cola 6 weeks to do it. We did in 30 minutes. So like AI against AI, I would say. And yeah, so that's
amazing. Congrats. We actually had someone as a guest speaker on the show who was one of the winners of Coca-Cola competition that they were using Midjourney for the first time. Midjourney and other tools that actually created those, longer forms that you mentioned. So this is amazing to see the evolution of these tools. And curious, now that you're talking about the workflow and so on, are there any other competitors in this space, or we all have heard of Sora? Like, how are they doing it differently?
So, I mean, first of all, so all those platforms are usually model based. So Sora has its own model, Runway has its own model. Probably Google will come up with something that comes together, but within the Google ecosystem. So we take a very different approach. We are model agnostic. So we go with all the models that are there. So as a company, you don't have to make a choice into any type of environment. So we kind of reflect as we were talking about vibe coding, we reflect the model of what Cursor is doing into software development. You leverage all the capabilities of all these foundational models and put it into a framework that enables you to create your software, and in our case, to create your video. So that's more like this approach of like a layer that integrates on top of the models rather than just building it vertically. And I think we are able to capture the full spectrum of innovation across the model. As if you stay into one model, you only have your race into your own line, and you compete against other models. We are like a more spread into being exposed into the innovation, for example, into lip syncing and into audio, and also the innovation into motion design and graphic and everything. So basically, we already have better capabilities than what you can do with Runway, or which is like probably one of the leading company now. Sora did the big buzz, but really didn't deliver. Runway might be the best, the best integrated platform today, but we can already outperform it because like some foundations that we have, we create a full story and not only a few frames or one frame after the other. And then we leverage all the best-in-class models. So as probably Kling2 is probably better into video generation than Runway is right now. And then you can generate a Kling2 video based on let's say an Immergence image that you generated. So we kind of mix and match all these models together, and you get like the best outcome that's possible awesome. At the moment.
Thank you for sharing. Casey says, can't wait to start playing with it. Got me motivated to create. Yes, these are all great tools. Awesome. So I'm curious in terms of the creative workflow, you're a creative person yourself and you work with creatives and studios. Um, will anything change when there are these capabilities that now we can create so many and iterate through different options? Is the quality definition different? The no longer we have the limitation of creation. So then what is the creative process these days?
I mean, we are all into this. I mean, the way you were creating a blog post last year and the way you create a blog post today is very different. Now we'll have the same into video creation. I think at the end of the day, I mean, we have all these waves about AI and everything. At the end of the day, in one layer is just another tool, a very powerful tool, but another tool, and you need to be able to know how to use it and how to leverage it. So it comes back to your knowledge of what is language and how you can be able to prompt it into the level of expertise into your area to come where you need to go. So I don't think if you really want to leverage it, you need to have that culture. So I don't think that will go away until to be able to push it to a certain level. Obviously, I see that we're gonna have quick, easy trash content like we had with Web2, that kind of just a lot of I think
no effort. Yes.
someone told me the term is called unshitation. So a lot of more shits together all together. So I think that is happening. But on the other side, there is the creative mind, and the real creative will be able to leverage this tool to another level, which will bring the industry and the creative industry to some other places where you don't have the constraint, mainly the financial constraint that we had before to create that amazing shot. You would have needed the technical cameras, the technical people, the light, all this stuff. So today that is going away, where it's only you and the system that is trying to put something together. So the time frame is going to be much faster, and the quality of it's going to be much better. And especially if you start mixing different technology like 3D and AI and then coding and computing and everything. I mean, it's we have everything accessible to us. It's how do you leverage it to express your vision and express your your creative. I mean, slowly that's the pitch of it, creative freedom. I think we enter into a way where there is no more constraint in terms of creativity. It's just, what do you want to express as a creative? What's the story? And it comes down to this, if you have access to everything and you can build everything, what are you going to tell?
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that we're not going to use those videographers, actors, and so on. We may use these tools to just pitch the bigger idea, right? Bring the ideas to life and show them what we're envisioning. But the actual, maybe the longer form film or ad will be done in real life.
So I mean, we see it there is people are using Animatix in two different ways. One is for the pre-production, previs, be able to quickly draft the concept and express it to people. Really aligning people around the vision. And then you can push that into production, where you actually push it to an extent where you can actually produce the content 100% AI. But we start to see a mix of AI and proper traditional production. A bit like we saw with VFX when 3D arrived into the VFX world. Everyone thought, okay, that's done. There's no more matte painting and all this stuff that was real background made, craftsmanship and all this. Everyone's going to be computer generated, and we lose this, and the industry is doomed and it's gone. But actually, we saw an explosion of the cost of movies and the cost of this industry, that much more money was put into it to even push it a bit farther and push the line to it. So I think we're going to see exactly the same phenomena, where don't get me wrong, it's going to be a lot of trash, but the creative industry is going to push it to a level where more money will be spent and injected to create more amazing stories and movies and ads and things like this. So I don't think it's going to stop to have just I hope not. I hope there is still some creatives there that will just push the limits to something that is very cool.
Amazing. And what does collaboration look like in your platform? Is it like Figma or I don't know, even Google Docs and others that you can share with others to jump in and help real time? Or is this something you're working towards?
No, so that's the big unlock also. We make it like fully collaborative with role-based access. You can invite multiple people. We have like workspaces where you have like a workspace for your agency, like a sort of a Google Doc for video, and then you can share access, viewer access, editor access, and commenting and everything on the platform. So really like multiplayer mode where you can have multiple people at the same time building the same film and the same story. So we see that it's very important because as you are building a film or a commercial, you have multiple stakeholders that are taking place into this film. You have people that will care about the storyline, like how do you write it and what it should say. People will care about the cast and what type of actors you want and what type of clothes and design and style they want to, and props and like all these makeups, and like there is like a depth of everything into everything if you actually go into cinema. And then the footage and like how it's captured, how it's framed, the lighting and everything. So you can decide all these different parameters, and it's like it's possible to do it by yourself, but you need to get that knowledge. If you don't get knowledge, you bring people in that bring that knowledge. Of come back to what I've said, where you need to have that depth of knowledge to be able to prompt the system properly. And that's why like expert and like people that knows about the art form will not go away. They will actually align into those platforms with a much better communication platform to align together around the project. So that's really the aim around it. The AI is just at the service of putting these visions together. It's really the heavy lifting of not requiring like a year or 6 months to produce a film and just spot actors and spot locations and everything. You just do it on the platform, and you can really define that by inviting all the stakeholders of your film into the same platform. So I think that's like this collaborative AI video platform. That's the main nugget around it, because it makes it collaborative and people can do it together, leveraging the AI tools. So yeah.
Thank you. And as we're approaching towards the end, what are your predictions for this industry and this space? What are you excited about? What are you looking to see coming out soon in terms of the technology?
So you mean like what's coming next?
Yeah, what's next for the industry as a whole, and maybe Animatix?
I mean, it's like really. I mean, it's probably already getting better of what you can do with a camera. I mean, you can really already push the limit. If we are already there or not yet, we will not see the distinction between what is AI generated or not. I think in some cases we're already there. And then it's just like, how do you actually leverage it to tell your story? So my belief is the foundational models ultimately will become like commoditized, and you would not really care what models it runs on. Like you don't really care on what framework a web page is built on. You just go on the web page and you consume it. You don't really care if it's like a Next.js or a React app. You just go on it. So probably like very similar things. So those models will kind of fade away today because the technology is new. Everyone's kind of just looking at the models and the capabilities. Ultimately, all the capabilities will become the same. And then it's just how you make it usable to be able to bring your vision and push it. So that's what I see. The next phase is is how you can leverage this to make multiple variations of it. So that's once you're capable to build one video into a very short amount of time, you are also able to make multiple video into a short amount of time, and that's was not possible like yesterday or like before we put that together. You could not build it into like a few minutes, few hours to have an output. Once you're able to do this, then you can do multiple versions and adapt these multiple versions to different audience, to different storyline, and so on. So then the future of that is hyper personalization, and that's where it goes a bit crazy. And I don't even know like if I want to see this and if I want to see this for my kids, but it's like individualized content in real time. So based on what you want to see and what you want to you like, the video adapts itself and it just delivers the film you want to see.
Wow. It's already happening like on social media, right?
It is, and then then it opens a whole new subject of what's the social impact on that, when already social media has like creating a lot of, like, everyone is into his small little word that represents what you see on your feed, and then it creates like a big social disconnect in the real life.
Yes.
If you push entertainment to the individual entertainment, everyone will be into his small little bubble, wanted to see what they want to see, and then it will create like probably a even bigger disconnect. So that's that's the kind of
thank you. And how can people support you? What's the way for them to reach out to you and support you?
So yeah, just sign up to animatix.ai. For now, we only have a wait list. We are opening up to the public in probably a few weeks. So if you're interested into this, sign up into animatix.ai, go to the website. If you want to leverage that for your company, agency, reach out by email, and we'll just run into a demo and just take it from there. So that's awesome. The best way to reach out, either through LinkedIn or by email.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sylvain. This was very insightful and really great to hear your experiences. And thanks to our amazing audience for being with us throughout this 1 hour. Casey, Barbara, Ian, JK, Shadi, Felipe, Jean, and Sharad, Chris, everyone, Fatima, who tuned in live. And we are very grateful for your time and contribution. We'll be back next week on Tuesday at 12 p.m. EST with Danny Paul, Creative Director of the Electric Factory. Thank you again, Sylvain. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.